Okay, so I'm working on installing this console in a 2005 GM truck, and I was hoping to wire the harness into the truck so that the cigarette lighters and everything worked, and maybe even the USB cables, maybe try and hook it up to a radio. So I was just kind of going through and checking things out, and I took this cover off to get a better look of it, which was just four screws. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, which you can see them there and there. So I just took it apart, unplugged everything, and just took the whole piece apart, which these two, you've got your USB supply, which goes to those two, and then you've got these pin connectors here, which is for the, I believe it is for the auxiliary speaker thing, but these two also come apart. These two boards disconnect. So you've got this board here, and you've got your other board there. So this one plugs into that, and this one plugs into this. So I was just checking to see if I needed to add any alternative voltage reducing in line, to see if I needed to reduce from 12 to 5 or whatever. But so I've got these cables. I went and got a pigtail off of a truck, so I'm gonna solder this end into a harness that I make up so that I have a factory disconnect. I might do the same thing for this as well, but this is just a regular cord that I can just buy and modify as needed. But that's the plan for that. So let's see. And I also went and grabbed the couple of wiring diagrams. I wasn't really sure which was the one I needed. They were all basically the same. I wasn't really sure. They're all fairly similar, but that cube that I had is called the X83 auxiliary audio input, and it basically has your USB and your auxiliary speaker and everything that ties back into your that says radio. So I was just looking at this diagram to make sure it X13 and so X314 and X313, which is right there, are the two codes of the harness that supply to this. So yeah, that was the diagram that I found that was helping me on this. So so on this harness here, you've got 2 blacks and 2 violet yellows, and those supply your cigarette lighters. This plug here used to be attached to a seat, and that seat was a base model truck, so it didn't have the cigarette lighter in the rear. So you can see that that port and that port which is a ground, and the supply were for the ones in the back, and then the diagonal ones, which would be that one and that one, would be for the one up in the seat. So yellow and violet, thicker blacks are for the cigarette lighters, and then in the interior, you've got the violet red, which is right there, which you can see on this diagram is right there, which is your 12, I think it's your 12 volt coming in from the fuse block, but red violet, so that's your red violet. And then when you look up here, these are for your, you can see all those other ones. That's all that bunch. And then I believe this one, just this cord is just for your USBs, your two USBs that are in there, which is these two. So those both should be supplied by this one cord, which I had a pigtail for. I don't know where it went. Yeah, I don't know where that went. But yeah, so that's that. So I'm going to reassemble these, which basically just slide those together. Slide like that. You have to line these pins up with those holes. And just slide the cover over it. So that these come through, just plug into the back of it. Those are now connected. So then you just, there's these white tabs on the side right there. Those just click in. That's what holds this thing in. That black one is just like to line it up. Push that in. And on this side, I took this little clip out that goes into this little hole just to keep it in place. So that's that. So yeah, I had a little coffee staining on the inside of this, so I got this center console secondhand. It was kind of gross, but so that's how I'm planning on wiring it. I'm going to I'm not going to hook up my auxiliary cord. I'm just going to leave that small bunch of cords with nothing, and then my purples and black, so my power, my 12 volt and my grounds I'm going to supply, so then both my cigarette lighters will work. And then I'm just going to get a adapter for this, just a USB to, I believe this is a micro USB. I think this might be what it's called. So I'm just going to get a USB to micro USB and plug that in, and then these USBs should have power. If I ever wanted to, I can hook these up to a radio, and the radio should be functioned by this just as it was factory. So hopefully that helps with any modifications. I also added these bottom brackets here, which I'm doing on a separate video. These bottom brackets go onto that 2005 Silverado seat assembly. So I had just took the whole bottom, but that's on another video I did. So if you have any questions, let me know.